Hello, hello, and welcome to another live stream. Let's see what's going on with our Blender here. There we go. Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. We're gonna be continuing on working on our animation scene. Last time, or better say yesterday, we finished the stream, and we finished at this point here. As you can see, we have a much more dramatic lighting, so to say, than what we had before. And I've been playing around a bit with the other lights to see what we could leave turned on, and modifying the intensity of the lights themselves so that they're not too intrusive, and to keep in a way some ambience going on. Here in this version I turned off more or less all of the lights, and it's okay. I mean, I like the way that the light is hitting and the dress here, and that it's creating the lighting on the character itself and here on the floor, and also the shadows that it's creating. But I feel like it's missing here something, a bit of lighting in general. So I've turned on back the lights from behind the biombo, and I think I'm gonna keep the light as well on for the lamp here, but maybe keep it super low, something like this maybe. And I was looking at it changed in the meantime. It's not too visible. It changed the material on these handles, so to say, for the pictures. And I've noticed in our reference that the lighting was behaving quite weird. So now was a normal issue for the picture. So now this is fixed, and now it's behaving correctly with the lighting. We fixed the boxes as well. The light is interacting with them normally, and I've added some, they called IES textures that are like lighting profiles that are different cone shapes that are used to, so I believe, you cannot see it here, so let me do a brief showcase of it. Let's add just a plane, and here let's duplicate this light. So if I lower this, and we keep it something like this, should be visible. Let's try maybe another one here. and maybe because of since I'm rendering the viewport at a lower resolution, might be that it's not picking up the texture itself. Let's see here. Okay, and let's add here under the performance viewport automatic. So I think we should be able to see a difference here. Go with this one here. So for some reason, let's try with the math node and multiplying this value here. It should be visible. Different profiles. It should have a bit of a different shape here. Not exactly sure why it's not exactly showing it up. It's actually not doing anything here. Looks like it's not reading the texture itself. Let's try some of these ones. Let's try another one. Well, this is weird because I wanted to use this type of light profiles for the picture frames, and maybe as well to use it coming from the outside, so we could get some more specific lighting. But it's really not doing what it's supposed to do, or at least this is my perception. But it does have a fall off, so maybe we just need to play a bit more with the settings here. So yeah, maybe now yes, now we can see the difference a bit better. So yeah, this is what we want to do. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, let's go back to this one here. That should have, let's pick this one. And let's see now. If we increase it to 500, okay, we're starting to get the light coming through. Let's increase it even further. And let's keep it at 800. Let's keep it at 800 for now. Shouldn't be any coating on this here. We don't want this. Let's duplicate this. Let's add a noise texture. Let's add this here as well. Let's mix those two together. Let's add this as a factor instead. 4D. Go base color. Let's go extreme here with the colors that we're gonna use. Okay. We can add a bit more variation to the box itself. So that is just not a not, not a plain color. Since now with the spotlight, and later on when we're gonna do the other scene, is gonna be quite more noticeable. So we can add something like this. It's already gonna look much better. Even though it's really subtle, but it's gonna do its thing nevertheless. So I'm adding here a linear gradient, and preparing the color ramp so we can control it even further, because I want to, let's see here, separate XYZ, and we could pick like this. And then we can move this one here. We can add another texture. Then we can add a mix node. Like so. So we can use this part as a mask, and we can add small details to this part. How do we want to do this? Not with the multiply, with the add. And now we can use this part more or less. Can group this and say we have here node group like round dirt brown dirt mask. And so now if we mix these two together, like so, and we use this one as a factor, it should just work on the lower parts, which I think, yeah, it does. It's really subtle. It's really subtle. It's really just a little bit, well, maybe it's just too much of messing around with that thing there. Let's add to this noise texture, color ramp. Let's go here as well to the lighting of I think we are doing the lighting with, if I remember, these two 4 lights. Yeah. So since we have the IES profile already here, that's the reason I duplicated the old lights and just put this ones here. Let's try to see here. Behaving a bit weird here. Okay, 350, something like this. Let's keep everything lower. Let's keep the values low so that we can focus on the character. Let's now have here a bounce. Let us check it. It's just adding a bit of bounce light here to the top, which is fine. What I would like to do now is focus here on the character light itself. That we have here a light for him. This one should work and be connected just for him. Let's turn all of these off and just have the character lighting on. So for example, this one should let's like this. So now it is working as it should. Looks like the light linking broke for a moment there. yeah, something like this. And then I think we might need to do the light linking again for all of these lights, because I have a feeling that they broke here as well. So, oh, it's connected again. Just have a fill light here. Yes. Though it should be a bit more reddish, just because of the room being completely red, just because of the bounce itself. Maybe we can keep it at a pinkish tone. And then we have this other fill here. We want to keep as well the values not too high, since the rest is quite dark. So let's see here. We have this one on, and this one was a test. Yeah, the sun is giving some extra lighting here that could be nice. Let's try. If we keep this light, something like this could work, just to have a bit more going on here. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's turn on the set here. And the pictures and this one. And let's turn off here for this light for later on the volume scatter. We don't want it to be affecting this later. And more or less these lights are already turned off for the volume scatter. And Let's see the key light. We can lower it something like this. Save the scene. I'm gonna turn on everything. I'm gonna have to set this up. I have it set up in another scene, but here in this one, no. I was refreshing my memory as well on some of these settings, on some of the compositing nodes in Blender, and there's some really nice resources online that are explaining really well how to do certain things in regards to either creating the outputs, mixing them in together, and setting it up so that you always have the file ready. One of the examples is Robin Squares, for example. His channel is really nice, and he's explaining really well this sort of things. So we're gonna be using the mist pass as well. These other ones, you can use maybe the vector pass here. And I'm just gonna lower the samples by quite a bit. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Let's leave this here. Something like this. And here we have these things already set up from before. We want to use GPU for the compositor, and this is more or less it for these settings. I would like to do a quick render here, and then let's see here. Let's jump here. Reload. Today, what I would like to do else is also just quickly duplicate the same scene and just try to play a bit with the lighting and try to maybe get close to something like this, where we have a lot of blue shadows and some warm tones going, or like a night, something like a night scene. Or we might even play around with what this we could do as well in comp, to get something more in these teal tones. Last sample to go. There we go. So now that I'm looking at these things, the boxes look much more integrated now. I'm feeling like we could do something about the general lighting. Maybe up the values a bit so that we have a bit more going on here in the back, and here this part I would expect from this light to have a bit more bounce here. So, and then use maybe as well this material on this stick that the character is then playing with. Okay, so we can maybe here duplicate this floor bounce and just rotate it like so. And so something in these lines, not too much lighting, but just enough so that we see a bit better the shapes of the and the forms. I mean, it's already lighting up this part better. Or maybe something like this, and these lines could work. And let's try adding this material here that we did, which is a picture holder. Okay. which is not so. So now it's using the same material. Before it was looking a bit out of place with the texture. And I saw that this one was off in the render as well. So let's keep this one on. And for the lamp as well, these two were off. So let's keep them on. So now we have, let's see, these two things here. Which wall was this? This was the old one that we had at the beginning. Can definitely see the difference of the lighting that it's creating, of the feel, I mean, of the for the environment, just because of the brightness of the material. Okay, let's delete these things here. We won't be needing them. Maybe we can, let's play then a bit more with the texture here. Where did we go? Okay, here. Let's go to this part over here. I think now we have this thing here that is coming from the top here, this light that is now wait a minute. Why are we getting this here? It's actually interesting. It's actually affecting it. This mix is quite strong. So this one is affecting these lines. We could have something like this. Then maybe so I had a feeling that before it was just getting a bit out of hand, the darkness of the scene, but maybe we can go with something like this, so we have at least a little bit of separation in between the different parts of the scene, different props, different elements, and so on. So let's go to our we didn't render this one out. So let's delete this one here. Let's add version 7. Let's save it here. Let's add frame 120, 121. It's not the same frame. Oh, wait a minute. He's grabbing. So frame 114, and then 114, 114. Okay. Character should be outside of this. Let's keep it that way. And let's check this. Where do we have our mirror light? I feel like it's not doing what it should with our light linking here going on. Yeah. It's definitely not doing what it's supposed to do. So let's add it one more time. Let's see here. We put it into the set, and then we have here inside the environment. Full body mirror. Okay, so we've put the mirror inside of a collection that should allow us to just pick the mirror collection here and just affect the mirror without us affecting anything else here. Doesn't seem like it's doing much. Doesn't seem like it's working. It's not working. So this is definitely a bit of a pain in the ass here. but we're gonna have to deal with it. Okay, so now, and if I select the hierarchy, if I move it into a collection, and if we, after organizing all of this, if we add this mirror collection now, this time it works. So maybe because of the way that it was duplicated, like an instance, it just didn't pick it up. So now we do have more control here. I would just like to outline the mirror a bit more here. So now we don't see it. Okay, I just increased it by a lot, and maybe we can just use a spotlight instead of the area light. I have a weird feeling that this is just not working the way it's supposed to work. I almost have a feeling that just because of the way the normals here are set up, it's missing geometry. me just check here the UV for this. Although, if I remember, I was amazing. It's almost like a piece of art in itself, the UV. It's almost like a piece of art in itself. Just do a smart UV project, unwrap it all, because I was creating some errors before on another asset, and just when I did this, then it did solve some issues. So we might just do it here as well. I mean, they're all using the same material, which is, oh, it's set to UV, actually. Okay, okay. Let's do this. Let's do this then here. Let's select. Let's select everything that has this material. Material wood mirror. Okay, like so. And now let's apply the wooden trim material, like so. So we're gonna have this one. And then we're gonna duplicate it and say wooden mirror material. Just use this one instead of the other one. Not sure if this was a smart idea to merge everything together or not. but it saves me a lot of scrolling here. So here we had some roughness going on. That we can leave for now. And let's check here. It seems like it's working super weird, the way it's reacting to the material of the wood. It should pick up on a lot of detail, I would presume, but it doesn't look like it. It just doesn't look like it's doing what it's supposed to do here. The light itself. Okay, so it would seem that now it is working, and it is working in a different manner. Than it was before. Okay, let's try some lower values here. Something that still feels a bit artificial. So what we could do here, in the end I wanted to almost inclined to fake it from here. Just because I'm receiving a bit more information here. Well, let's leave it at that for now. Let's see if this will be too much, or we should leave it on white. Yeah, we'll definitely leave it at white. I wanted to try adding here, let's just copy and paste this, and then we can change, use nodes, and we can change the profile to something else. And we're getting a lot of lighting coming through. So let's change. Let's change this IS profile to something like scatter, and it's blowing up. Okay, definitely a lot of light. Okay, that's still too strong. Let's even half it. Let's half it even further. Okay, even 3 times more. Okay, even more than that. Check here something, if I have it. So there is something that I wanted to add to this scene that I saw one time from an artist called Gleb, Gleb Alexandrov, or maybe Creative Shrimp, I think, on YouTube, that he had a version that is called Dust Particles, and I would like to test it out actually in this scene. But let's see, I'm not sure if we will be able to use it or not. Okay, I'm trying to test these particles to see what exactly they are doing, but okay, shimmer, shading. I think I should be able to make it work. Let's try it. Let's try adding in. We're gonna append, and we're gonna go to where we have dust particles, and we're gonna append the three things that we need. So let's see here. I haven't tested or checked it out before. Definitely has its own thing going on here. And it's using, if I'm not mistaken, some sort of geometry nodes here as well. We definitely don't want them to be just want them to be white. Use emission. Translucency sphere size 0.1. Amount, let's try 500. If we apply scale, And this text here, color with the clean value variation. Okay, shade. So there's definitely a lot of things going on here. Align sprite particles. They're definitely quite big. Not exactly sure. The size. This is already too big of a scale. Let me see here in the... Yeah, so it is geometry node setup. Was wondering if we render this, how it will actually look. So yeah, it's going to render the... Here you can see, let me switch over to the render view. You can see it's actually going to render the text itself. Which I don't really like the way this is looking anyways, at least not for now and without further testing. I was thinking that maybe we can add just something later that could work, but in this case I would Let's remove this. Looks like we have something left. Modifier wrench. Oh, it was actually geometry. Changing up the music a bit. Go back here to the shader of our floor. So now we have these settings set up. Feel like that this volume to the light path settings and leave this at 6, and we can leave the diffuse at 3 for now. And let's click save. Let's try to do quick renders as much as they are possible. Let's add them then to our new version, and they are not these frames, like so. I'm gonna be right back until it finishes rendering. Okay, so here we go. We are back with the render. We're gonna render as well this one is for this frame here. We're gonna do the other frame here as well. That is 150. 153 is fine. Let's do a quick test here. Slot number 2. Here we have the second version as well. So yeah, we're getting there steady, slowly but steady. Overall, I'm liking where this is heading. I might do something here to the curtains, maybe just lift them up a bit. let's here we have here value 0.5. Yeah, maybe we can just lift them up a tiny bit. They're quite dark here. Let's turn this subsurface off. Add here another noise that I wanted to mix in. Talking about lighting, well, it's getting super bright here, and I'm having a bit of a hard time seeing what is actually going on in the scene. But well, so let's do this. So lower the detail, because someone mentioned at one point that going up all the way to 15 is actually messing up with the like processor, or so to say, of Blender, and that it's actually unnecessary, taking into account like too much more processing power, which is actually not needed. Yeah, now we got something super dark here. Mm, it's not doing what I thought it would do. Let's go full green. And let's see here what we can do to do this mask here. Something like this. I want to break up a bit the repetition of the texture itself, and maybe we can then pick the same color here and go a tone either lighter and then desaturate it, or have a bit of a darker tone. Okay. Okay. So let's try to do a full copy. Okay, now that we have a full copy of this, we're gonna try let's try let's see what we could do here. For the nighttime, gonna turn off these two bounce lights. We could then remove this light blocker. Have here, let's try adding this teal-like color here, which might be a bit difficult to play around with since we have so much let's go here. So everything should be more or less this way. Bounce top. And I'm gonna add, okay, it's working on the volume as well. Here we might be leaning in a bit further into the density and the fog and everything compared to the other scene. We might go a bit stronger into the mood of this sort of lighting. That from here as well, it could be something cold from the outside, even a colder light. Let's add the same value to this one here. Here we're gonna be having a lot more contrast in this scene compared to the other one. Okay, this one we obviously need to have a nice orange tone. Let's keep it the same for both of them. Since we have already this one set up, might as well just use this one here to position it. Play a bit with the values here. Keep this light white here and the key light can tint it maybe only a tiny bit to blue. And then we have here the fill lights. Let's do here the same for the colors of these lights, or more or less the same. Here a bit of a pinkish tone, not too much. Yeah, playing around here with the fog. Let's see if we can. This one is looking super moody, super nice, barely see anything, just silhouette play. And we want the bounce top light here. delete these things. Delete this thing here. Let's delete everything. We don't need this lamp. And we can move this one here into the set, dressing as well. So when we have things here tidied up a bit more, and play a bit with these settings. We could add, if I'm not mistaken, here a color lamp to the density. Okay, let's play around a bit with these values here, and let's see. We could have a general fog, or maybe a separate XYZ, and or we could have a fog that is only from top to bottom. Let's see here. Yeah, this is already working. It's the volume. I was doing it wrong there. We could have some fog either from the top or let's put this one here and let's name it fog off. We can use it as a mask as well. We can duplicate it. Let's name this fog bottom. And we can just, okay, flip it like this. And we should have it from the bottom here. Just connect this one here as well. And then we will need to can have something creepy like going on the floor here with the noise. can plug it into the density, and we can plug it into the volume here. And we can have a bit of ground fog going on here. Can mix in between these two shaders, have a bit more absorption or less, have more fog in the scene as well, or less. Or we can combine both of them. Like this, it almost looks like the fog is seeping in from the window. So we can keep this one like this, and then we can play with both of these settings, or change depending on which one we want to use. Let's pick its bottom, then let's organize it like this. And we could try as well to, let's add the track 2 function, Sally body, right? Should let's turn off all of these lights. So now we have only the character lighting and this one here, if I'm not mistaken. That I'm not able to move. But let's leave it. So this one is now doing, if I'm not mistaken, the main lighting here. And if we add an object constraint to also track the jacket, let's say, And let's lower these values here a bit. Maybe 100 could work here. Let's turn off the key now and the outside just to see what these two lights are now doing. So this one is just adding a bit of color to the character so that it's not completely blue. Let's turn on our left fill light. That is adding as well a bit of fill here from the side. Let's this test kicker. Oh, I removed the wrong light, I think. Okay, so let's leave this one where it was. This one is okay the way it is. Have the set lighting on. And let's see here if we could do another. We can do another render here. Let's turn on the character light. Let's add this same light for the where did we go here? The lighting for the mirror. Something like this. And then we turn on the biombo lighting here as well. We get here a bit of orangish, yellowish tones here that we might even increase, and pictures these two should have the same lighting. But these two should work exactly the same. For some reason, this one just wasn't looking the same. So, as well, I'm gonna incrementally increase here the lights, and this one will be the strongest of them all. Gonna do the same here. I'm gonna set this one to 100. Sorry for that one. It was an unexpected hiccup. So now I would like to lower this here, 35, something like this. And now I'm not sure if I would like to keep this light blocker here or not. Let's put it back in place, and we can lower it. It really needs to be, it would seem a lot to affect the volume itself. So let's go to our amazing frames that we have here. Actually gonna lower them a bit here. These cups are really not reacting to the material, and it's supposed to be the same one. As the teapot here, but I have my doubts here. I have my doubts about it. We can heighten it a bit, because right now the table seems like it's burning. Let's save and let's go to the render view. Let's try again slot 1. We're gonna render the same frame. And I think we're gonna wrap it up for today here. We did some nice progress work that we might even do one more variation just to play a bit more with the overall scene. Now that we have material set up, and we can definitely get I think quite a bit out of the scene. So I think that for the next one we're gonna be working more on finishing up the lighting part. Then we'll see if we need to do some compositing work and how much. I still haven't decided if I would do compositing inside of Blender itself. I have already some setups there ready for it, or if I would do it in DaVinci Resolve with DaVinci Resolve and then inside of DaVinci Fusion, and or just do some grading for a few variations of the lighting, and that would be it. Then I would definitely need to render out the animation, which I still need to do. So we'll probably do off stream because it will take quite some time to render, and then see how it looks, and it might take some trial and error just to get it working properly, but we'll see. I have my hopes up that it shouldn't cause too much problems. Maybe just with these volumes here that I've added, that it could create some issues. And yeah, after that we can finish it either in DaVinci or in Fusion, and we can then continue working on the second project that I've already set out which one it's going to be, and it's something that I found yesterday, I think, online. It is a challenge, a texturing challenge, so something that I haven't done in a while. The prop itself is provided, and the challenge's final date is, I think, 22nd of July, and I will try to finish up this project by that time. If not, I will start texture work on that model itself, because it's a texturing contest, so to say. I might stream that as well. Decided to texture it most likely in Substance Painter, since there's been quite some time since I've done some texture work in Substance Painter. I think some of the last assets was like maybe a year ago or something like that. So it will be definitely a nice practice to get back into, and just to let loose on the texturing side of things. But more on that on a later date. For now, the focus is to finish these two versions, let's say night and daytime, and then render them out. Let's put this as is, and probably gonna need to tweak the lighting here. I see that the character is receiving a bit too much lighting from the top. We might turn off some things there. Okay, so I took some time here to adjust some settings, and we're gonna wrap the stream up here. We have the two versions rendered out. One is more like a regular daytime scene, and the other one we were playing around a bit with you could say a nighttime setting. And here I had a spotlight on that was here for the mirror, that we can maybe just put it for the mirror and then play it here a bit with the fog. And this would be then more of a lighting that would actually be closer to the lighting of the character than this one, because here spotlight was affecting it. That was meant for just the mirror. And yeah, all in all, it's looking better and better. We're progressing quite nicely. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Bye.